Hey, welcome. Today we are diving into something really cool. 4 ways, all backed by science, to actually alter your consciousness. And get this, you only need the brain you were born with to do it.
So let's just get right to it with a pretty wild question. Is it even possible to get a psychedelic-like experience, that kind of profound shift in how you see the world without, taking anything at all?
Well, according to a deep dive into 17 different medical studies, the answer is a big, clear yes. Turns out, our brains already have these incredible built-in tools for completely changing our perspective. And today, we're going to look at 4 of them. All right, first up, we have a method that's all about unplugging your senses from the world around you. It's called sensory deprivation. So here's the idea. Your brain is a processing powerhouse, constantly dealing with a flood of information from your eyes, your ears, everything. But what happens when you shut off the fire hose? Well, it doesn't just go silent. It can start to create its own reality, its own sounds, its own images, and this can lead to some seriously creative breakthroughs.
And believe it or not, you can try a basic version of this at home. Just find a quiet room, pop on some noise-canceling headphones, cover your eyes with a mask, and just be still for about 20 minutes. The whole point is to let your mind take center stage and just see what it comes up with when all the outside noise is gone.
Okay, let's talk about our second method. And it's one a lot of us have probably experienced by accident, but we don't really think about its power. I'm talking about sleep deprivation. Now, this is really important. This is a total double-edged sword. On one side, a single strategic all-nighter can sometimes work like a system reboot for the brain. It's even been used to try and jolt people out of a depressive state. But on the other side, chronic sleep loss is seriously dangerous. It can wreck your health and even cause hallucinations. It's all about the dose here. And if you want to know what it's really like to go too far, just listen to this. This quote is from someone who only got 12 hours of sleep over 4 days. They said, the world looked flat, like 2D, they had memory problems, and it just felt awful. It's a really stark reminder that this one is not something to play around with. Our third technique brings us back to the world of sleep, but this time the goal is to grab the steering wheel. This is all about lucid dreaming, basically becoming the director of your own dream movie. You know, scientifically speaking, every single dream you have is technically a hallucination. Your brain is just making up a whole world. The amazing thing about lucid dreaming is that it's a skill you can actually learn. It's all about realizing you're dreaming while it's happening and then trying to take control of the story. And here's how you can actually train your brain to do it. Keep a dream journal right by your bed and write down everything you remember as soon as you wake up. Then, before you go to sleep, kind of prime your brain by focusing on a specific problem or an idea. As you start to drift off, count your breaths to clear your mind. If you do this over and over, you can actually train yourself to have that aha moment inside your own dream. And finally, we've got our fourth and maybe the weirdest method of them all. This one doesn't require any fancy gear, just your own eyes and, well, the ability to just stare.
So there are 2 ways to do this. First, you can sit with a partner in a dimly lit room and just stare into each other's eyes for about 10 minutes. The other way is to do it by yourself, just staring at your own reflection in a mirror. Both can have really powerful effects, from seeing facial features start to change and morph to feeling what's called dissociation, that bizarre feeling of being disconnected from your own body, like you're looking at a stranger.
Now get this, a study on the mirror-gazing thing found something totally unexpected. As you can see from this data, healthy people actually reported seeing way more facial distortions than patients with depression. Why? Well, nobody knows for sure, but one theory is that a healthy brain is just more flexible in its perception, while a depressed brain can get more stuck in its ways. It's a really strange result that turns your expectations upside down. And this brings us to a super important point about these staring techniques. Yeah, they have some real therapeutic potential. They might help someone disconnect from a bad memory or even see what's going on in their unconscious mind. But the risks? They are just as real. For people who are predisposed to conditions like schizophrenia, these kinds of exercises can actually trigger panic and be really, really harmful. So if you take one thing away, let it be this. These techniques are not party tricks. The source material is very clear that the effects can be as intense as some psychotropic drugs. You are unlocking the power of your own brain, and that power demands to be treated with a whole lot of respect.
So there you have it, 4 totally different paths to alter your consciousness, all documented by science. We've got the quiet of sensory deprivation, the delicate dance of sleep deprivation, the control of lucid dreaming, and the powerful, simple act of staring. When you boil it all down, this all points to one incredible truth. You don't have to look for some external tool to change how you see the world. The most complex, powerful, and mysterious device for doing that is already right there between your ears.
Which leaves us with one last thing to think about. We've just looked at 4 ways to tap into the deeper workings of your own mind. Now that you know these paths exist, what else is your brain truly capable of?